Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Dr. Cody Mullins, and I am your instructor for English 202 this semester, creative writing. So just a little bit about what I'm doing here and talking to you on this lovely, rainy, and quite honest, snowy Friday afternoon. So our class starts on Monday, right? It is a hybrid or blended class, meaning that essentially, most classes in 8 weeks meet twice a week. Ours meets once a week, and then there's additional work you will perform on your own, sort of asynchronously online each week. The problem with that is that our one class period is Monday at 9 o'clock. And well, this Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so we will not be meeting this week. So that kind of sucks because you only have 7 class periods, but we will have 8 weeks of work, and I want to talk about that today. So there will be work expected for you to be completed by next Monday, the 22nd, and I want to get into that today. So this is our course, English 202. So I've identified here the work that you will be doing, and it looks like a lot, but none of these things take that long. I promise you. Even the reading is pretty short. The readings happen in this textbook. This is our textbook for the class. It's an open resource textbook, and the page numbers refer to the textbook numbers, not necessarily the PDF numbers. So this week you'll read page 3 to 31, etc. But before we get into that, I want to check in on the syllabus, and I want to make sure that you read through the syllabus carefully. Again, our class is Mondays 9 to 11:50 in M411. My contact information here, the easiest way to get a hold of me is via email. I'm around there. I do have dedicated office hours, 11 to 1 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and by appointment. I'm on campus every single day, at least for some period of time. Most Fridays as well, Monday through Thursday, certainly. So keep that in mind. This is our textbook, etc. I'm not going to cover all of this in sort of a syllabus rant. I do encourage you to read through it. It is lots of information here, including a nice diatribe by me. So make sure you do that and read through that as well. It talks a little bit about the class. So in terms of a couple policies that I want you to be aware of, first is the non-attendance drop policy. Now, luckily, we will have a class before this takes effect next Tuesday, but you have to have submitted an assignment, contacted me in some way, or attended a class by next Tuesday to remain in the class. I have to drop students who don't show up and don't appear and don't do the work by then. So if you don't want to get dropped, the easiest way obviously is to do this week's work by the deadline and then show up for class on Monday. We do have a withdrawal deadline of February 25th, so you can withdraw then without penalty. You won't get refunded, but you will not incur any penalties in terms of your grade. It won't affect your GPA. I encourage you to click this link to follow. So our resources, they're updated all the time in real time. And one last thing that I will make note of, I accept all late work without penalty. It is what I do in all of my classes. It is not an invitation to not do the work and wait until the end. If you do that, you will fail this class. The only way to fail creative writing is to not do the work. The only way to not get an A is to not do the work, because I don't grade you on your talent. I grade you on your effort, right? So each of you come into this class with different creative writing abilities. Some of you have probably written creatively for a long time, and some of you have never done that, and this might scare you, and that's fine. Regardless, my job is to help you cultivate a voice of your own and to become a better writer, no matter where you are in your writing journey. And so most of the work will be graded as such. It'll be graded on completion. So if you do the work, you'll get an A for it. But really you want to focus on my comments. I will give you extensive comments on your work, how to improve, some ideas for different things that I've thought of as I've read your work, etc. And so in that, this course is very different than a lot of your previous writing courses, I would say, unless you had me, I guess, for 111, which several of you did. So maybe it's not that different. But one thing I will say about this, and it's something that new creative writers really struggle with in this course. There are really no rules here. There are guidelines for you in place. We're going to do this type of poem, or we're going to do this type of short story. But really, I would much rather you write something unique and that speaks to you than to adhere to the guidelines that I have asked you to follow, if that makes sense. So in other words, if you're inspired to write a specific creative writing story and it doesn't jive with what I've suggested you do, screw the requirements. There are no requirements, right? Write something that speaks from your heart and that you can be proud of. All right. So that's the first rule. The second thing is there are no word limits or page limits or minimums for these things. I have had successful students who have written 30-page short stories. I've had successful students who've written 1.5-page short stories on the same assignment. Creative writing is subjective, right? So it's more about what moves you're making, you know, how you're trying to sort of join this creative community, right? That being said, I have, as much as possible as I can, provided, you know, guidelines for you. I'm not going to call them requirements, even if they're listed as requirements. They're guidelines for you to follow, because I do realize that some people really like to have structure in their lives. Creative writing is going to be a hard class for you in that case, because it is no rules in a sense. It is sort of, letting your guard down and letting you write. And so in that sense, it's much different than many English classes you've had in the past. All right. So that's all I'll say to that. For this week, for the work, what I would like you to do, and I will put this in sort of the body of my announcement this week as well. Please email me just acknowledging that you've watched the video, you've read through the syllabus, etc. That way I know that you understand that our class is only once a week on Mondays, and this Monday is not going to happen because the college is closed for MLK Day. Okay. In terms of the work that you will complete this week, so we have a couple sort of getting to know you as a writer exercises. The first one is on identifying your writing preferences. So answering these questions, this is sort of like a journal entry in a sense about who you are as a writer and what you like to write. It'll help me get to know you a little bit, what your experience is as a writer. There's a video here on writer's block, and then asking you to think about how writer's block has impacted you in the past. So answering these questions as well. So those first two exercises are more in line with just, getting to know you writing experiences. All right. Next, I have provided a lecture on the creative writing process here, and then there's a YouTube video on 3 antisocial skills to improve your writing. All right. And then you have 2 responses or assignments that have to do with the reading for the week. So the first one, we are reading a short story called Story of an Hour by Kate Chopin. It is found within the pages of your textbook here, between 3 and 31, and you will write paragraph length responses to the questions in reading response 1. That will be the longest thing that you will do. And then the other thing that you're going to do for again, Story of an Hour, is you're going to download this sheet here. It's called Freytag's Plot Worksheet. It's a Word document that you can edit, and you're going to, there's explanations of what this is in the text as well. So you're not going to be like, I don't know who the hell this Freytag guy is and why I'm doing this. You will read about it first, right? I just want to give you an overview of this. And so you're actually going to edit this. You're going to download this so that it's a Word document for you. It comes up like this, and then you can actually type in, stuff here. Okay. And so you'll save that, right, about Kate Chopin's A Story of an Hour. And you will save that after you've edited it, and you will turn that in as well here. Oops, sorry, here. So you'll submit that, you'll upload this as well. If you do not have Microsoft Word on your device, you need it for this class. It's very hard to not have Microsoft Word and complete this. You get it for free from Ivy Tech. If you need the link, all you have to do is just Google Microsoft Office Ivy Tech, and that's the first thing that comes up. You basically have to log in with your Ivy Tech credentials, and it allows you to download it, and you can use it as long as you're a student, and maybe after, I don't know. I don't know, there's a statute of limitations to it. So that's that. Those are the assignments for this week. And again, kind of a unique situation where we don't have class this first week. Hopefully this welcome will serve you well. Please reach out to me if you have questions, or if you are on campus the rest of the week and you would like to stop by. My office is in the library. It's 509D. Again, I'm there most days in the mornings. I do have children, small children, that I leave to pick up in the afternoons. So if you come after 1, I might not be there. But otherwise, if you want to stop by and say hey, then you can. Otherwise, I'll see you next Monday on the 22nd with all of your work complete, and we can talk about that. We will discuss story of an hour in class, and it'll be a lot of fun. All right, so that's it. A weird beginning to our class, but as cold as it's supposed to be on Monday, maybe this won't be so bad anyway. So, all right, take care. See you next week.